Well, welcome to the Crofty Rogues. My name is John Cosgrove. I'm normally one half of the Crofty Rogues, but because we have a Celtic croft connection, then we become the Crofty Rogues. The craftiest of the croftiest is the man sitting next to me, Mr. Croft.
Is that the introduction?
I think so.
My name is not Mr. Croft. My name is Stephen Quinn. As John said, normally one half of the Crofty Rogues. This evening, or whatever time you're watching this, one half of the Crofty Rogues, because we are here for the Celtic Croft.
Normally, the Crofty Rogues reviews everything that's going on in the world, but as the Crofty Rogues, we're only interested in Men in Kilts. And when I say we're only interested in Men in Kilts, I mean the show.
The TV show Men In Kilts, starring Sam and Graham from, I'm going to say it, Outlander, as they travel around Scotland, enjoying a cultural, immersive experience.
Can you remember the name of their yoke that they drove? I can.
Bog Myrtle.
Oh, you don't. Dang it.
Yes. So, each week on Men In Kilts, they travel around Scotland in a van and they experience various cultural events and venues.
A bit like we do, sitting here in my basement.
Oh, you gave the secret away.
Did I?
They started with food and drink. Then they did sport. Then they did, what was last week? This week it's...
Last week was all run around and parades.
Parades and dancing and song and dance. Song and dance. This week... And they are guttural noises. This week it's about superstitions and tradition.
I've got some thoughts.
No, traditions is next week. About what?
Superstitions.
Okay.
Because Ireland, like Scotland, because I'm from Ireland, in case you hadn't guessed by my cute accent, Ireland is a very superstitious place. A bit like Scotland. I think because of the terrible weather, and they're hoping that the weather will get better, and they're always being annoyed by the English.
We don't have many superstitions in Australia, touch wood. Should I be talking about superstitions because I'm Stevie Wonder? See what I did?
Ah, yeah.
I've aged myself there.
All right, well, let's get on with reviewing the show.
Let's do it.
Because someday maybe Men in Kilts will watch this. That's not the guys in the show, but actual men who wear kilts might watch this as a sort of a cult thing.
Right, you're our fashion expert. As we go through the show, you can talk about fashions. They started in Edinburgh and they were at the jail, and it was a little creepy.
It was a little creepy.
Fantastic review. Thanks for your support. That's improv at its finest. Yes, and it was really creepy. Here's the thing, though. I thought in this week's episode, there was a lot of acting. There was acting going on. They set up these scenarios and these premises and these bits.
Well, you had your woman there running around, and now I will open the gate.
Well, here's the thing. They were at this jail that's haunted. Oh, it's a cemetery as well. It's haunted and all sorts of stuff. Her name was Charlotte Gollidge. You know what her job was? She was a death historian. Here's the conversation at the Gollidge dinner table. Mum, Dad, I don't want to be a lawyer. I want to be a death historian. How'd that play?
Well, I don't know, but maybe they thought superstitiously that they were cursed when she told them that. Anyway, she was mildly entertaining, not scary at all. In fact, then she locked them in for a bit and then she unlocked them. Explain that one to me.
No, I can't, but I've got late life claustrophobia. You're laughing, but you know it's true.
It is.
I don't like confined spaces anymore. Maybe it was my time in jail. I don't know. But that made me a little uncomfortable, the thought of being locked in there. And it's just the thought that you can't
What
get
about
out.
witches? How are you around witches?
Oh, fine. Absolutely fine.
Well, every
No
time I
problem.
sweep the floor with a broom,
Yes.
I think of a witch.
Yes.
But enough about my aunt. Witches and Ireland were a big thing. But I thought it was interesting that they went all the way back and talked about witches. The guy who was explaining how they were marching witches through the streets,
Yes.
and they're all like buckled up and brisk.
Yes.
He seemed to get a kick out of it. He was a little enjoying it a little too much.
Well,
Didn't you think?
he was a witch historian. You've got your death historian and your witch historian. Leonard Lowe was his name.
He looked like your man from the Addams Family. What's the wee baldy fella called?
Uncle Fester?
Yeah, he looked like him. Oh,
He looked like a cross between Uncle Fester and an AC/DC roadie.
yes, he did. And he loved witches. He
did.
loved talking about witches.
He did. He was passionate about his chosen subject.
Apparently, Shakespeare's inspiration for the three witches,
Yes.
Macduff in Macbeth. I have no idea what that is, but Macbeth sounds Scottish because I didn't read any Shakespeare.
Okay.
I'm Irish. James Joyce, Oscar Wilde.
I'll give you a little theatre lesson. You never say the word Macbeth in a theatre. If you're in a theatre, you refer to it as the Scottish play. It's bad luck to say Macbeth in a theatre. I shouldn't be saying it now.
We're not in a theatre.
But I'm telling you that it is bad luck in a theatre to say the word.
We're doing a show about superstitions and you're telling me about bad luck.
Well, there you go. This is content.
See how that works. And then they went and looked at a big bunch of rocks that are assimilated with pagan festivals. Ireland was a fantastic country as a pagan country before Christianity came, with lots of rocks as well.
Can I just go back a minute to the witches and the torture chamber thing? The ACDC roadie / witch expert showed them some various torture techniques, and one of them was to sort of prick them with a pin, right?
Yeah.
Here's the point. Here's the irony. They used to prick them all over until they found a place where it didn't hurt. And if they found a place that didn't hurt, you're a witch. So basically, they're going to stab you to death because it's always going to hurt until they find somewhere that doesn't, and then you're a witch and you're dead anyway.
Sounds like Scottish law to me. Well,
the Standing Stones, go back to your point, of course, as we all know.
Or as we like to call them, Heart of Midlothian soccer fans.
Midlothian. As we know, the Standing Stones went on to become the Rolling Stones, and a huge success story.
They roll better than they stand. I didn't get that bit either where your man was standing, pushing against the rock, hoping to go... It must be a reference to the show.
It is. It's in Outlander. Remember, part of Outlander is time travel, and that's sort of a portal going back.
But where's the DeLorean?
No, it's like... a platform 9 3/4 in Harry Potter. You go through,
and there's witches there as well.
Dimension.
You're bringing it all together.
See,
I've got a Harry Potter Scottish tartany pencil just by pure chance.
That's remarkable information.
And this shirt I'm wearing is because there wasn't a lot of tartan.
Did you sell many policies today?
No, Scottish policies.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Because we're here because of the Celtic Croft. We're supposed to be supporting tartan. There wasn't a lot of tartan in the show, but he looked dapper. The young fella looked dapper in the green jacket.
The best jacket of the day belonged to Graham when they were at the festival at the end. It looked like a pajama top on steroids. It was fabulous.
Do you want one of those?
I do. Here's the thing, though. Yet again, young Sam, who, as we have discussed, is a fine-looking unit, he doesn't take too much of a nudge to look to get his kit off, does he?
Yeah, that's true.
He's always game to show the pecs.
Maybe we need to start promoting tartan underwear, and then it would be more exposure.
You might be onto something.
I might be, because now we're going to be soon done with face masks. What are you going to do with all that extra stretchy tartany stuff?
Can you imagine how many tartan face masks are roaming around Scotland at the moment?
I was thinking how many are roaming around Minnesota thanks to the Celtic Croft.
Oh, look at this studio craft.
I'll tell you. But anyway, the rocks up there, they're all standing in a big field looking at rocks.
There wasn't a lot of kiltage in this episode. They did both have kilts on at the end.
Technical term.
It was a bit more of a scarf and cap episode. But once again, their outerwear, their coats are so cool.
And of course, at the end, they had their little tipple, which we have over there. You can't see it; it's out of shot. I had some breaking news in my family this week.
This just in.
We're a very proud Irish whiskey drinking family, and our whiskey always has an E in it. But I discovered this week my younger brother Seamus has been drinking Scotch mixed with Drambuie,
Rusty nail.
a rusty nail. And if you're watching, Seamus, which I hope you are, I hope the elastication in your tartan underwear gets stretched a little from drinking all that scotch.
Well, suddenly this has gone from a promotional piece to a family
Person
shout.
vendetta! I'm cursing you, Seamus! I'm cursing you!
See, we're back to superstitions.
And there we go.
Men in Kilts. Every Sunday, well, not every, there's only a couple to go, on the Stars channel. I think it's around 8 o'clock. Don't quote me on that. But it's on Stars. And for all your Celtic needs, cultural, fabric, clothing, music.
No shamrockery.
No shamrockery, no diddly-diddly. Go to the Celtic Croft.
And
kiltsandstuff.com.
And if you want to listen to us on a more regular basis, we have a podcast called The Crofty Rogues, where we kind of do what we're doing now, but off camera. We'll see you next week.